Did America just kill two countries with one oil price? Hello and welcome to today's Daily Blitz. Now, Nikolai is not in today, so it is just me. Nikolai's ill at the moment, hopefully not with the coronavirus. But in today's video, I'd just like to dwell on the recent oil price collapse and what it really means and what the real implications of it might be. So far, the mainstream press has really phrased it in the terms of a Russia attacking US shale, Russia attacking the fracking industry, the disruptive new oil industry that has changed the geopolitical balance. But I'd like to zoom out a little further than that, because while certainly the oil price collapse is putting extreme strain on the fracking industry, and it's looking like the US government is going to be bailing out the industry some way or another, I think if you zoom out a bit further than that, you can actually see that this is really very much in Washington's interest to keep the oil price very low. In fact, I actually believe Washington might have been one of the big forces behind Saudi Arabia's decision to just completely collapse the oil price, as it really does benefit some of the US's foreign policy objectives. Specifically in Iran and Venezuela. Both of those countries have actually already been hit pretty hard by the coronavirus pandemic and not being very well prepared for it. And in Iran's case, it appears to be taking a serious toll amongst its aging government specifically. But in both cases, Iran and Venezuela rely on strong oil revenue in order to maintain their power. And that has now come under severe strain. So after already getting a serious hit from the coronavirus, which continues at the moment, it looks like this is just coming at the worst possible time, that their government revenue is just going to get absolutely trashed by the low oil price. Venezuela, despite the huge social unrest and the hyperinflation that's gone on there, has managed to repel all of the US's regime change efforts. And so has Iran. It's managed to repel all of the incredibly strong sanctions that the US has put on the country. Both of them have managed to survive until now, when we have the coronavirus not only dampening global oil demand, but the coronavirus actually doing a lot of damage to in Iran's case, to the government itself. It seems like, to my eyes at least, that the US, through its partner Saudi Arabia, has crushed the oil price deliberately in order to deliver the killing blow to both of these enemies, to both of these adversaries of Washington. This oil price collapse has been described as a financial crisis for oil, except this time none of the producers are too big to fail. So I believe the US will do what it can to subsidize and bail out the US shale industry. But for those who do not have that, do not have that privilege of having the global reserve currency, it's going to become an incredible strain on Iran and Venezuela to maintain stability, because ultimately you run out of money to print, or at least you run out of people believing or having any faith in that currency whatsoever. So while the US will no doubt try to protect their shale industry, as it gives the US a great strategic advantage. If you can imagine what would happen if the US managed to secure Venezuela's vast petroleum resources, the largest proven petroleum resources in the world, just imagine the kind of strategic advantage that would bring. And if Iran collapses, of course that takes out both Saudi and Israel's main competitor in the region. So while it's being portrayed in the press as very negative for the US, specifically to the shale industry, I actually believe this is serving the US's greater geopolitical objectives. So I would expect later this year, or provided that the oil price stays low, we're going to see a lot more US foreign intervention or foreign intervention efforts in Venezuela. And we're also going to see a lot more activity from Iran, because Iran, of course, is not going to take this lying down. They're probably going to try and do something in the Strait of Hormuz to lock off global oil supply. And they may well try another drone strike on the Saudi Arabian oil production facilities. But ultimately, if Saudi Arabia does succeed in keeping the oil price very, very low, it will crush both of the US's enemies. But that sums up today's Daily Blitz. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell down below, and we shall see you in the next one.